Lewis Hamilton, Mercedes chief Toto Wolff makes admission Ferrari and Red Bull will love that is according to Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff, who has made an admission which will be music to the ears of rivals Ferrari and Red Bull. Is out to secure a sixth World Drivers' Championship of his racing career this season as he looks to close the gap on the legendary Michael Schumacher. A fifth title with Mercedes would put the Brit in touching distance of Schumacher's record haul of 7 and extend his team's stint of superiority. Mercedes, though, like every other team, are having to conform to new regulations in order to compete in F1 this season. Wolff, who has masterminded Hamilton and success, has now admitted the rule changes could be bad news for the Berkeley-based outfit. And that might open the door for the likes of Ferrari and Red Bull to topple them at the top of the drivers' and constructors' standings. The 2019 season will be a new challenge for all of us, Wolff said. The regulations have changed quite substantially. We have to start from scratch. We need to prove ourselves again against our own expectations and against our competitors. We start the season with 0 points, so we're taking nothing for granted and there's absolutely no feeling of entitlement to be at the front. In fact, with the regulation change for the new season, every team can have a shot at the title and we're seeing all of them as a potential threat. Mercedes, who launched their new car on Wednesday, will get a gauge on how well prepared they are for the coming campaign next week. And Wolff is looking forward to seeing if Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas can get what they expect out of the W10. We're eager to hit the ground running in Barcelona, to benchmark ourselves against our own simulations and see if our predictions materialize on track, Wolff added. We will focus on ourselves, building up performance and hopefully be ready when the first really competitive session starts on Saturday in Melbourne. Hamilton will get his title defense underway when the Australian Grand Prix takes place on Sunday, March 17th. And he will be desperate to start off with a bang by repeating his 2008 and 2015 victories at Melbourne's Albert Park circuit. Next news. F1 news, James Allison identifies the threat Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull face this season. That is according to Mercedes technical director James Allison, who is eager to see how Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas' new car performs. Go into the new season off the back of a 5-year stint of dominance stretching back to Hamilton's first title win with them. And this year they can match a record set by Ferrari and Michael Schumacher of winning 6 championships on the spin. Ferrari, and indeed Red Bull, will have something to say though, with Sebastian Vettel and Max Verstappen out to ruin Hamilton's hopes of glory. Mercedes and Red Bull must all conform to new rules surrounding aerodynamics, fuel allowance and car weight. Allison, who has helped mastermind the development of Mercedes' new W10 car, has now identified the regulation alterations as an opportunity. But he admits they could equally hamper any team's chances of securing success over their respective rivals. Regulation changes are both opportunity and threat, Allison said. They are an opportunity because all the old assumptions about what you need to have to be quick are swept away and, if you are fleet of foot and smart in dealing with that, you can do better than all the other teams that are tackling the same change. They are a threat because if you are not as smart and you didn't see how to make the most of these new regulations, then you'll certainly suffer in the coming season. But they are always exhilarating because you have that sharp sense of anxiety that you might not be doing enough, but equally the thrill and excitement of looking forward to finding out. Hamilton and Bottas will get to grips with Mercedes' new car during pre-season testing in Catalonia next week. Meanwhile, Expert Tony Jardine cannot see Mercedes persisting with Bottas beyond the end of the year. But, for me, Bottas has been very disappointing, Jardine exclusively told Express Sport. I can't see him going for any longer than 2019 with Mercedes. He just has not delivered. He's very smooth, he's very fast, on certain circuits like in Sochi in Russia he's very, very quick. But even he has come out now and said, I've got to come out fighting, in 2019, got to be more aggressive. But it's too late in my book. Next news: Red Bull unveil new car for Max Verstappen and Pierre Gasly, but fans did not believe them. Red Bull have continued their tradition of utilizing the blue and red of the Austrian brand, which lends its name to the F1 team. But, while the base layer of the livery is once again a dark blue, the detailing is altogether out of the ordinary. S name is spelled out in red across the front wing and on the sides of the new RB15 car. However, it's the inclusions of red chevrons in front of the cockpit and a webbing design on the nose and rear of the car which have got people talking. Red Bull dropped a similarly outlandish design ahead of testing in Barcelona last year too. Although they ended up scaling it back for the car and Daniel Ricciardo went on to drive. Fans are now skeptical that the same thing will happen ahead of next month's Australian Grand Prix. And they have taken to Twitter in order to question the legitimacy of the car Red Bull have unveiled. Test livery or the real McCoy though? Question mark. One fan wrote. It's just the test livery, said another. Please tell me that's the actual one and not just a test livery. Last year's one was so beautiful and you didn't use it, added a third. A fourth questioned Red Bull, saying, is this the car? One impassioned supporter wrote, please. Don't be only the test livery. Please. Keep it all this season. It's simply amazing. Why can't you keep it, quipped another, followed by a series of crying emojis. Should stick to this livery for racing, not just for launch, said another. One Twitter follower pointed out the specific wording Red Bull used, writing, when you see the car and then read launch look. Red Bull suggested the final design of their car for 2019 will change in a press release on their website. The RB15 has been unleashed. Donning a special edition livery, the RB15 drives the team into a new era thanks to the arrival of Honda power and an exciting new driver pairing, it read. Driven for the first time by Max Verstappen and eagerly watched by Pierre Gasly, the RB15 broke covers today at the team's official filming day at Silverstone Circuit. Verstappen and Gasly will be behind the wheel of the RB15 for testing at Barcelona's Circuit de Catalunya next week.